Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and you're probably looking at this thinking, what, did we not already review this egg? Well, no, we did not, because this time we have one of the, where is it? There it is, Dino Surprise Captivz figures that has one of the supersized figures in here. So this is the first time, to my knowledge, that Toymonster International has released the kind of supersized dinosaurs. I only know of 3 included in the line. I don't know if that's it, or if they're all out now. I'm not too sure, but I'm very interested in seeing them because, to me, again, a larger version of a Captivz dinosaur figure is something that I would love to have an opportunity to enter into my collection, but just in general check out in hand. And you can see the packaging looks pretty much the same as the previous Captivz egg, kind of, except we have a little bit less texturing to this one. You can see we also have an eye on here. Let's see if there we go. We got it turning now. It blinks really nicely. Look at that. That is awesome. The eye is definitely a different eye compared to the last one. Almost a kind of crocodilian-like eye right there. Kind of reminds me of the Spinosaurus a little bit, actually. But again, the egg looks pretty much the same. We have a look here on the back basically showing us what is included in here, as we have quite a bit of stuff. And then a beautiful Jurassic logo there on the back. So let's go ahead, pop this open, and check out our supersized dino. So once we have the egg kind of unwrapped, you can again see the Captivz logo right there. And then we open it up and we'll see what we've got inside. So straight away, we have some awesome stickers. We've got the T-Rex down here, the Dimetrodon. We also have an Atrociraptor, the Pyroraptor, Ankylosaurus, Triceratops, and then Velociraptor Blue creeping through the little circle over there. Some really nice looking stickers. Can't wait to see the Dimetrodon, as we haven't seen it in any of the trailers or anything quite yet. So I'm really excited to see that that's making an appearance in Jurassic World Dominion, and just really excited to see that species. And then you can see we have a part of our dinosaur right there, and man, it is actually quite a bit larger than I was expecting. But you can see we have the tail. So let's go ahead and see what else we've got in here. So we have our Biosyn slime, but oh, yes, there's definitely part of the dinosaur in here as well. I could see a foot right there. You can see a foot inside the slime. So this time we do have to dive into the slime to get our dinosaur out. And then we've got something that I don't know what that is quite yet. And then we have another area here. We have Prehistoric Sand. And I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, we have part of the dinosaur in here. So that's actually pretty neat the way they do that. So you basically have to excavate your dinosaur, but from different things. Like we've got some slime, I guess, some like amber-like slime over here. It looks really cool. I think that's slime. And then we've also got the standard kind of Biosyn slime, and we've also got sand. So let's go ahead and start to pull these pieces out, and we can check out our dinosaur, see which species exactly we have included here. So let's go ahead and pop that tail out. That's like really, really strange. It's not really slime. It's kind of like slime. It's really weird. Definitely an amber-like look to it, but it's not like your standard slime that you would normally get. It's a very, very different texture and feel. But obviously it is meant to insinuate amber, especially since it does say it there on the packaging. And then we've got, we'll go with the sand next. We'll take the piece out of the sand. So we open this up. We've got ourselves a really nice area filled with some sand in here. And then I can see part of the dinosaur kind of sticking out right there. Oh, we've got the head, so that tells us who we have. We have the Mechanical Arm Baryonyx, the larger version. Really excited to see this now, even more so, because again, I knew there were different species included, but I wasn't entirely sure who I would get in here. I think that's all the pieces that are in there. Yeah, it definitely looks like it. And then we've got the final pieces here to our puzzle, which would be the main torso. And you can see as we open this up, it is absolutely slime everywhere. So let's go ahead and pull the body out of the slime. Oh, wow, that is absolutely loaded with slime. This takes me back now to the older Captivz where the slime and the dinosaurs were kind of mixed together. So I'm going to go ahead, pull this guy out of frame here for just a moment and kind of clean him off, and then we'll bring him back and check him out from there. So we have the body here, the torso of our dinosaur out. We're going to go ahead and put this together. Wow, that went on really nice and really easily. And man, am I ever absolutely in love with this. This is super nice looking. Like, Man, does Toymonster International ever do a great job on their figures. You probably can't tell quite yet just how nice this is with the lighting and everything, but we're going to go ahead and jump straight to a closer look right now to show you just how beautiful this is. So again, immediately looking at this, you can see how lifelike and realistic this figure is. I was always curious to see how good the Captivz figures would be if they were in a larger size, and boy, can I tell you, this absolutely lived up to my expectations. So you can see up here in the head sculpt of our Baryonyx, we have some really nice skin detail throughout. The overall structure and appearance of the head looks pretty much exactly like you see on the Jurassic World style Baryonyx. You can see some of the pink there on the inside of the mouth. You can also see the teeth running there around the mouth. They are all painted. Really nicely painted on this side. There's a little bit of sloppiness over here, but for the most part, they look pretty darn good. You can see some really nice tones of color as we have some blues. We have some browns. There's some different variations of browns for the lower jaw, so quite a bit of different coloration applied to the face of the Baryonyx. If my camera would focus on it, you can really see that. You can see the eye is painted with a green, given a nice black pupil. Same deal for over here. And again, you can see some of the pink there on the inside of the mouth. As you start to lead back here into the neck, you can again see how nice the scale detail looks. You can kind of see some creasing there, right there behind the lower jaw. So you can see the movement of the skin, and the entire figure has a fantastic dark wash. I absolutely love the dark wash on this figure. You can see also kind of almost like an armored type of a look running down the back of the neck of our Baryonyx. And then as you lead down here a little bit further down into the neck, you can see how we have kind of a collar on the Baryonyx. Very nicely sculpted out, very nicely painted with a brown. Also includes that dark wash. You can see the neck detail over here. Again, some more skin wrinkles and stuff there due to the turn in the head kind of showing off that movement really nicely. As you lead down here a little bit further, you continue to have that really nice kind of bluish tone to the dinosaur, but there's also some mixtures of grays and browns that I can see included, kind of some light browns, and then we also have that dark wash amping up the realism of the figure. Again, some more really nice skin detail, skin texture, scale detail, that kind of armored type of a look here for the top of the dinosaur. And then we have a strap running out here up and over the top of our Baryonyx, leading down here, so that we have kind of a very primitive way to include the arm onto our Baryonyx. Again, very nicely painted with a brown, also including that dark wash. And then as you lead out into that mechanical arm of the Baryonyx, you can see that really nice grayish tone to it. Again, the overall appearance to it with that dark wash gives it that kind of gritty, dirty look and dirty feel, which I really do quite like, because again, if you're going to have dinosaurs, fighting for your pleasure, I don't think you're going to be taking probably the best care of those dinosaurs. So having that kind of dirty and gritty type of a look really kind of suits that feel and that idea. And you can see again, as far as the arm goes, everything looks great. It looks really, really nicely sculpted and very precisely painted. As you lead back into the stomach region, you can kind of pick up on the rib cage, as well as again some more really nice scale detail that definitely is quite vibrant on the sculpt. Moving back up to the back, again you have that very armored type of a look with the ridges running down along the spinal column, and then you can see the muscle definition here in the thigh. As you lead down, you can see the muscle definition in the calf as well as the kneecap, and again that dark wash just creeps in and out of every little area it can to highlight the detail in a very realistic way. Leading down into the foot, you've got a beautiful, very bird-like foot sculpt for the Baryonyx. You can also see that the nails, although they don't really look like they have any specific nail paint to them, kind of have a little bit of a glossy look, so it sort of insinuates nail paint, which I do quite like. But again, it's a little hard to tell because it's still a little bit wet from the slime that we had just taken off of it. And then as you lead back up here into the tail, you can see more really nice detailing. As you lead out the length of the tail, you have a beautiful curve to the tail of the Baryonyx that ends in a very nice point. And I'm really impressed with how nice the paint application is of this figure. It's really smooth as far as the transitions back and forth and the way the paint has been applied. And then if we take a look at the opposing side, again, you can see the collar here as well as the strap leading up and over and then down under to connect back to the mechanical arm for the Baryonyx. But we do still have one arm over here that you can see. Again, has some pretty nice detailing to it. Yet again, no specific nail paint like we saw on the feet, but it looks absolutely awesome as far as the detail goes. And again, the inclusion of the dark wash out there. Leading back here, you can see the rib cage again a little bit, but it's not too visible, especially because the leg is kind of leaning forward there, kind of taking a step forward, obscuring a little bit of the stomach region, but you can again see how nice the skin texture looks as well as that beautiful paintwork. And then leading back here again into the thigh, you've got the really nice muscle definition in both the thigh and calf, the kneecap in the front of the leg, and then down at the beautiful bird-like foot of our Baryonyx. And then leading back up here into the tail, you do have that Captivz Jurassic World style logo right there that you usually have on the Captivz figures. You can see even the underside sports some fantastic detail that is all brought out really nicely with that dark wash. Like, look at how awesome and realistic it looks with the application of that dark wash and the really nice paintwork here. And then you have the Amblin title down here and everything on the underside, but man, is this thing ever awesome. So psyched about this Baryonyx, and I really cannot wait to get my hands on the other two. I believe the other two are potentially the Pyroraptor and the Giganotosaurus, if I can remember correctly. Either way, one thing I do know is I definitely need those in my collection, and this Baryonyx is fantastic. Now let's go ahead and check out the balance. Oops, I dropped him straight on his face, but oh, he actually stands really nicely. So there we go. Proof that you don't need oversized feet for the figure to stand, because that stands really, really nicely. And we also have inside that little black kind of plastic slip that we had in there, we do have the token, and that was kind of what I was expecting. So that's sort of why I didn't want to open it right away, because I knew it would spoil which dinosaur was included. Although obviously the thumbnail of this video and everything kind of spoiled it already, but I didn't know at the time, so I really wanted to be surprised. But you can again see Baryonyx mechanical arm, as well as some of the very interesting aspects of the figure there. And then for the information sheet, I would imagine it's probably the same stuff that we had seen before. Maybe, maybe not. Oh no, it is not actually. It's very different. So this time we have confirming exactly what I was just saying, and that is the other supersized exclusives, which we have here is the Giganotosaurus, the Pyroraptor, and the Baryonyx with the mechanical arm. And I really, really hope that they continue to make these moving forward so that we have more in future waves, because I would love to be able to get all of these different figures that are releasing from the Captivz line. Now, I knocked them over, but from the Captivz line in the supersized versions. But you can see, again, more pop and lock dinosaurs coming soon. So lots of really exciting stuff coming from Toymonster International. And again, with these figures that you kind of pop and lock, like it says, you can kind of have articulation. So because you pop the pieces in, you can then move and articulate them. So you have like a swivel tail for the Baryonyx, and then the articulation in the neck. That's really about it, articulation-wise. So you don't have like articulation in the legs or arms or anything. But as far as a size goes, you are looking at right around the 6-inch range, or about the 15 centimeter area. And then for a height, you're looking at a little over 2.5 inches, or about 6.5 centimeters, somewhere in that vicinity. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line, in comparison to our Toymonster International Captivz Supersized Baryonyx. And you can really see that although the figure obviously isn't massive, when it comes to a Captivz figure, it is definitely a really good size, and I think you could probably tell that here next to these figures. But if not, for another size comparison, there is the standard sized Baryonyx from the Toymonster International Captivz figures next to the supersized version. So when it comes to the normal size compared to the larger size, you can really see that there is a huge difference between these two different figures. Both are fantastic, but man, I am beyond psyched about this supersized version. So this brand new Jurassic World Dominion Toymonster International Supersized Captivz Baryonyx with a mechanical arm is awesome. Absolutely beautiful. And what I think I like the most about this figure is it has a strong kind of model-like feel to me, because the paint job is so nicely done. Like, we have, of course, paint from the head to the tail, all the way, all over the place, all through the figure, and on top of the really nice tones of color that they've used that I would imagine look like the Baryonyx from the film, because we haven't really seen too much of it yet to really judge, but it looks good to me. On top of that, we have some really nice, really careful paintwork to the figure. Like, all of it is really nicely done. There's no sloppiness that I can see anywhere as far as the paintwork, except for just a slight hint of it in the teeth on the left side of the face, but that is just so minor. And for the most part, again, like the straps and everything are painted really nicely. The mechanical arm itself, the colors between the different areas of the dinosaur all transition back and forth really smoothly, and then it has that dark wash to really tie everything together and amp up the paintwork of the figure. It really is awesome looking. And then the sculpt itself looks exactly like what a Jurassic World style Baryonyx looks like, and as far as I can tell so far from the image that we've seen, it looks exactly like the Baryonyx from Jurassic World Dominion when it comes to its appearance and the mechanical arm as well. So that is a huge plus for the figure. And then, of course, we don't have supersized feet, which again amps up the beauty and realism of the figure. And we also kind of have articulation when you take into consideration the pop and lock feature of the figure and the fact that you have to kind of pop the pieces in, so it allows neck and tail articulation in a way. So as a whole, this is awesome, and I cannot wait to get the others in my collection in my hands and check those out for you here on the channel as well. So I absolutely recommend picking this Baryonyx up or any of these other supersized figures, so make sure you do that, and make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.